The Magnolia Bowl, often overlooked in the pantheon of great rivalries, but this has always been fierce, and both of these teams know if they survive and advance from here, a host of opportunities lie ahead. An iconic venue, Tiger Stadium, Baton Rouge. It's the Ole Miss Rebels and the LSU Tigers. Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer with you, and Holly Rowe is down on the sideline. Hello, Holly.
Checking in with the Ole Miss head coach before the game. He is concerned going to an environment like this, one of the best crowds in all of college football. They make it loud and frenetic. He has talked to his quarterback and his center about having a high level of communication here on the road. Guys, back to you.
Holly, thank you. This ought to be a tremendous matchup. LSU will put a foot to it for the opening kickoff. Fielded in the end zone, it's Alexander. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. Using his legs, it's Lacey. He couldn't get it to the corner as this defense opening things up with a big play.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Out wide right, it's Lacey. And that defense is all over that one. No room to run after the catch.
Really good offenses are able to attack short. You've got to be able to attack the whole field to make you honor that underneath part, then the intermediate part, and then you take shots down the field. This will loosen up some shots for later in the game.
Looking to pass, it's Chambliss. Back open in the middle. Changing on the move. It'll be a first down at the 29.
And quarterbacks love running backs who can catch the ball because they're stat patterns. That's an easy throw for this quarterback to make. He's just letting his running back do all the work. Get him the football out in space and let the magic happen.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. Guys, you just say Magnolia Bowl, and it sounds elegant and pristine and reserved. And Ole Miss and LSU, anything but charges of clock malfeasance, downright cheating back in the old days just to get a leg up in this rivalry game.
It feels like
picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. Not the way you want to start your first drive, and the defense forces a turnover.
And that's kind of a double whammy for this offense because on their opening drive, not only did they turn it over with the interception, but they've now set their defense up in a really tough spot deep in their own end.
Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. The snap wants to throw to start this drive. Incomplete, and they got a hand on that one early.
I love the job here by the linebacker. He just kind of floats, and he's shuffling, and he's waiting to see which way the quarterback's going to go with the football. Not able to snag it out of the air, but, hey, batting it away, it's a big-time play.
A lot of ground to cover, and they need a chunk here on second down. He's looking to pass. This one's complete. And they get to him and knock him down to prevent a bigger gain.
And the slant is really a difficult route to defend against if you're a DB in man coverage, especially when you have no help on the inside. So if you're the offense and you continue seeing that coverage, you might as well keep attacking it just like that.
Dropping back, it's Levin. Makes the grab. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down.
I love the third down defense. I love the defense understanding passing situation, dropping back, keeping everything in front of them, and then breaking on the football. In order to do this and be great on third down, you got to do one thing really well. You've got to come up and make that tackle, and that's exactly what he did.
The Tigers will try to pick it up on fourth down. Snapped it, and he has to have it. And the fourth down pass falls incomplete, and they'll have to give up the football.
Great coverage on that fourth down play. Nice job blanketing the receiver out wide. The defense, you could tell, they knew they were going for it. They had a game plan. They get the big stop and turn it over to their offense.
First play of the drive, he'll look to throw. Got it in the middle, it's Alexander. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down. After the big play to start, now they are on the move at their own 45. They'll keep it on the ground to the right. Oh, he was in the backfield immediately, a 3-yard loss.
You see all this movement in football now, all the stemming, the defensive line, they're sliding right before the snap, creating confusion for the offensive line. Then they're moving back and stunting. Really good job by the defense. Continue to move, continue to stunt, continue to get in the backfield and make this life hard on this running back.
Well, they were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game, but that did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
On third and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Left side is Haas. Gets away from one, finds room. Runs through a man. He might have space. He'll be stopped at the 6-yard line, but what a job picking up yardage after the catch.
And that's the dangerous part about this offense, man. They'll get the ball out to a receiver. They can do that. They can make plays after the catch. Hard to bring down, hard to tackle. That's why this offense can be so explosive.
In the red area, it's Lacey. Relentless, tough running, gets it down to the 4.
First down and goal, I bet you the percentages are really high for run, and this defense was ready for it. They got to match the physicality right here, right now in this situation.
They've pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on second and goal. Looking for a path to the end zone to the right. Could not find a hole. This defense clogging up everything. It's third and goal.
It's looking like they're going to have to throw this one in now on third down, David. And you know the execution just has to be spot on. Timing especially at the quarterback position here.
And thinking about the defense, they're aggressive in these situations. They're going to play man. They're going to play up tight on you. So I know that. Now how do I counterpunch and attack this defense?
Third and goal, and let's see if they can even operate in this noise. All over him in the backfield. He'll lose 3 on the play.
And this defense has got to be jacked up, man. They finally forced the fourth down, right? They've gotten a couple of first downs, got some things going, but I think it's decision time for this offense. And this D's got to do it one more time, right? They've got to get another play, a big fourth down stop here to get some of that momentum and get the football back.
Hang on just a second. I think they're going to try to get the touchdown here. Man, this could be a gamble, guys. They could come up empty. Back to pass. It's Chambliss. Fires to the end zone. Oh, what a play. It's intercepted. They'll be able to get off one more play before quarter's end. rush center down's going to the air. Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. And that will fall incomplete, and we have played one. Boy, they tried to end the first quarter on a high note to no avail. Second quarter's coming. Scoreless as we head into the second quarter. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with second down. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Gliding to the right, still trying to make a play. And he gets the first down, but man, did he get the hit stick laid on his noggin.
And man, I love his courage to run the football. And I think it's necessary for the team. Sometimes you got to do that, but man, see the surroundings, right? Like, know when guys are around you. He gets hit late at the end of that play, and he got decked. You do not want to take those shots throughout a game. They will add up, and sometimes it will affect your throwing. That's too big of a hit to be taken for this quarterback.
Grabbed behind the line. It's Green. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
It must be nice for this quarterback knowing he's got this type of athlete playing the tight end position that can work the middle of the field for him. He's a guy who can stretch it vertically as well, but this is a guy the QB will look for early and often in this game.
And I love when my quarterback sees zoned and knows exactly where to go with the football. Sees the wide receiver running the drag route, knows when to throw it, pulls the trigger for the easy completion.
Looking to throw, it's Levin. Still moving to his right, trying to make a big play. They'll force him out of bounds after a solid pickup on the play.
And that's a pretty good job by this defense. Man, it's so hard to limit these quarterbacks, and they're spreading you out all over the field. When they take off, it's hard to limit the damage. Nice job limiting the damage. And I'll tell you what, make it physical. Finish those plays and try to tackle that guy and make him think about running the football in the future.
Second down, gonna throw it. Still looking. And not much going on downfield. You just get rid of it and live to play another down.
A nice job by the quarterback there. You're outside the pocket, nobody's open, so you throw the ball away knowing that you still have more chances to get this first down.
And the Tigers line up, trying to move the sticks on third and short. Looking to throw for it. Escapes the pressure to his right. He goes out of bounds after a solid gain on the play.
And, man, you knew he could do it, right? That's why you want to be in third and short. This offense, he drops back to pass. Everybody thinking pass, but he knew exactly where he needed to get. Lowered the shoulder, got there, got a little extra, but that's why this offense is so hard to defend.
Drops back on first down. Spits it out to the back. Holds on, it's Durham. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line. Death Valley has a well-earned rep of being intimidating. It is nice to be the quarterback to have everything on your side.
And have everything quiet. It's the loudest place by far that I ever played. I mean, for an entire game, they are on their feet, yelling, screaming. Now, listen, we can't play all the words they're yelling, Reese, but they are an intimidating crowd.
They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down.
When you play zone coverage and you got a wide receiver that's a beast, it becomes very, very difficult. I got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the wide receiver having a lot of success.
The Tigers, after moving the sticks through the air, come to the line. Looking downfield, it's Levin. Rush right in his face. And he's sacked. Great work there by this defense.
What a nice answer by this defense. You give up the big play, you respond right back, you get the sack, create some momentum for your side. Nice job by this defense staying with it.
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Wants to go up top on second down. Right side, it's Durham. Hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
That's a really nice job by the cornerback, playing with his eyes. He sees the running back release out of the backfield, sees him get the ball, and this guy's tough. You know, there are a lot of corners out there that would try to submarine these rig running backs, and then they get hurdled. Not this guy. Good job getting the tackle, getting him on the ground.
We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the first half. They've methodically worked it down the field. This the 11th play of the drive, but the defense can get off the field now. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. Active hands from the defense forcing that incomplete pass.
Really nice 3rd down sub-defense there that time. It's 3rd and long. They're expecting pass, and they're mixing up their looks. They're trying to change the picture pre-snap to post-snap to confuse the quarterback, and now forcing the incompletion, setting up 4th.
Smashes it between the uprights. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
How nice is it as a head coach to have a kicker like this? It makes these decisions on 4th down so much easier. Just trot him out there and let him stroke it through the uprights.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. He's going to change things up against this defensive look. Out wide right, it's Lacy. Still on his feet at the 45. Steered out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. A big pickup, and they are threatening.
And what a massive play for the offense. Not only getting the football across the 50, but they've now put themselves in position to steal a few more points here before the half.
Looking for space. It's Lacy. He'll move it ahead, and a good productive play on the ground.
Well, I know he was struggling to get going early in this game. That right there, though, was easily his best run so far. And this is one of the more talented running backs you're going to see in the entire nation. They need more runs like that to get this offense going if they're going to win this game.
Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. Dropping back, it's Chambliss. Out wide left, it's Cook. He's really close to that 1st down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
Nice job there. Good timing between the QB and the wide receiver executing that out route.
Better get that seismograph ready here in Death Valley. Huge 3rd down coming. He'll try to get it through the air. Finds his big tight end. Headed to the end zone. Touchdown, Ole Miss. Hauled that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score. They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point makes it 7-3. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And the score comes on a touchdown pass covering 28 yards. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. First play of this drive. Bought a little time, lets it go. Right side, it's Brown. Gets it to the 37. Clock stops to move the chains. LSU right back to the line.
A nice passing game by this offense. The quarterback and the receiver on the same page, in time, in rhythm, creates the big play. And look at them, they're right back on the football, ready to run another play.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that 1st down pass, and it never had a chance.
These receivers on these scramble drills are going to have to play with a little bit more urgency because this pass rush is getting after the QB. He was flushed out to the left but wasn't able to complete that throw because of the hit he took.
To the air. It's Levitt. Oh, pressure's coming. And down he goes. Now we get a timeout taken by the Rebels. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. Quarterback's got to get rid of the ball. That sack's on him, not the O-line. 3rd down coming. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Can't hang on after the hit, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, in a situation like that where it's 3rd and long, there's not a lot of plays to get that thing completed and keep the drive moving. So you're just trying to buy yourself some real estate and help your punter out.
Looks as if LSU will line up to punt it away. First time we've seen their punt team tonight. Fields the punt. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. Enough time to get off a play before we head to halftime. Wants to throw on first. Between the hashes, it's Alexander. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Fresh set of downs going up top. Couldn't find anybody to throw to. He'll just toss it away. It'll be second down.
The bad news is it's incomplete, but the good news was the quarterback, I think, made the right decision that time, actually throwing it away. He's been burned a couple times early in this one with some picks in this game, and so that time, instead of trying to force the play and make something happen out of nothing, he just throws it away. The defense wins that down. You live to play another day.
No good. After the miss, the lead is still 4. So that'll do it here in the first half. Stay tuned. Halftime is coming. Just about set to get this second half underway. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So the LSU Tiger offense comes out to start this drive. Tight game as we start the third quarter, and we'll see what type of adjustments they made at halftime.
And getting the ball first here, I think, is such a big deal. Like, I get the first chance to make a statement, to make the adjustments, to create some momentum for my squad right here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think it's so important for this offense to set the tone here early in the second half, to get a nice drive going, build that confidence, and get your defense ready to come on out, get a stop, and change the complexity of this game.
Quick give. It's Berry. All over him immediately.
And they stop him there with a tackle for a loss. And how about the run defense in this football game? A lot of coaches, man, they talk about it. Coming into a game, first thing we have to do is stop the run. Both these defenses so far have been up for the challenge.
Looking to throw, it's Levin. Out wide right, it's Green. And he's brought down after a nice game.
I know he's got the height and the weight of a tight end, but, man, the way he runs routes and how good he is with the ball in his hands, it just reminds you of a wide receiver. He's so athletic. This is a guy that has a basketball background in high school, and you see it pan out. Every time he has the football, he just looks like the best athlete on the field. For a big guy, very, very unique.
Snap on first down, wants to throw. It's dropped after taking the hit.
And a lot of times when you see running backs catch the football, man, they've got a little bit of space to operate. That's great coverage. Being right there when he catches the ball to deliver the hit, to make sure he doesn't secure the catch, elite coverage.
They'll need a bunch on second down. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air. Got it in the middle, it's Green. And the big fella couldn't elude the cornerback who makes a sure tackle.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the first.
They've got the ball at midfield, but they're facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Left side is Durham. Turning it on! And he was on his way, and they get him down at the 30.
The offense really struggled in the first half of this game, so it was important coming out of halftime. They were able to generate some momentum and get some rhythm offensively, and right now they look like they have it on this drive. Great news to see the quarterback make that last throw there to pick up the first down. They need him to play great in the second half.
Looking downfield, it's Levin. Tight end getting vertical. A likely touchdown-saving tackle, but the catch and run takes it down to the 7. From the gun. Oh, it's picked off. That's not the start they hoped for. And he's going to run it all the way back. Touchdown, Rebels. Getting set for the point after. And the extra point is good, and they have an 11-point lead. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. These guys really need to get something going on this drive. They are still well within striking distance, but they have very little. And what a catch! A diving grab down the right side. Cranking up a drive like that can really get you going. It's first down from the 44. Fresh setter downs going to the air. Out wide left, it's Harris. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down.
No touchdowns yet, but that may change very soon after that long completion by the offense. Really great route, and a nice job looking that one in. He set his offense up now in the red zone. They're looking to score some points.
Got his man. He'll get it all the way down to the 8-yard line, and the defense is feeling the heat. They are really clicking along, first and goal on just the 4th play of the drive. Looking downfield, it's Levin. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there.
Man, they could have flipped that field in a hurry, right? They've given up some yards. They're sitting in their own red zone. A chance to make a big play. Yeah, he could have made that interception and could have flipped this field.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Wants to throw it. Looking to get it in. They'll mark him down at the 2. The excellent execution on that throw and catch. They'll try to pass it in on 3rd and goal. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there.
And that's a good job by this defense, man. You drop back, you play really smart, play sound. Understand, there's not a lot of field to cover, and they couldn't fit the ball in a window. Good pass defense.
A famous writer once said, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Here is a desperate move, going for it on 4th down, trailing by double figures. Rushes on, and he never had a chance.
Man, that stings. You go all the way down the field, you get a 4th and goal situation, and the offense comes up small. The defense gets the sack. No points for you.
First play of the drive will come from the 9-yard line. On the run, it's Lacey. Hit and drop behind the line. He'll lose a yard.
And we knew the linebackers were the strength of this defense, but coming in the offense, man, they felt really good about their running back. And so far, man, it's been a fun matchup to watch, but advantage to these guys that have been filling gaps, scraping, getting to the football, making plays. This linebacker unit really held down this rushing attack that they usually hang their hat on.
Gets it out to the 22-yard line, and that'll be enough for the first down.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Lacy. Turns it on in midfield. Flying down the left side. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Rebels. Once he got a step, it was all over right to the house. They've extended this lead, guys, but sometimes in a rivalry game, you get down and you fight back that much harder.
Man, you've seen crazy comebacks and crazy swings of momentum in rivalry games. You just need that first thing to break your way, Palmer.
And I think it really comes down to their key playmakers, David. They can come back, but these guys need to take ownership. Now's the time. In this type of game, they have got to step up and start making plays.
The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Linebackers shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. Left side, it's Durham. Caught, and he's close to a first down on the nice pickup there. They're not just using the running back as check down Charlie in the passing game. They're getting him downfield.
Right, and take my matchups I like. If you're going to play man-to-man, who are you going to put on the running back? You want to put a linebacker on him? I like my chances, even with safeties. Those guys, you know, listen, they aren't as great as corners in covering, so I like finding matchups and exploiting them.
In traffic, it's Green. Good pickup there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Looking to throw, it's Levitt. They're all over him. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
And that's why you always want to be pursuing the football. QB's scrambling, he rolls out to the right, but don't quit if you're on defense. Get somebody after the QB. They got to him, they hit him, and forced the incompletion.
Plenty of time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. Second down to the air. Under pressure. And the pass falls incomplete. That's how we'll wrap up the third quarter of play. But now, time for the fourth quarter. As we start the fourth quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up for this third down play. Sends it back in motion. On third and long, try to convert through the air. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops, just not in sync. And that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Got to make the play on fourth. It's dropped and all. Keep the ball, but they did not.
I think that play right there has been a big theme in this game. When it matters the most, on big-time down and distances, this defense has been able to step up and make the play when they need it most. That fourth down, great job in the back end in coverage, forcing the incompletion with a big lead now, creating a turnover on downs.
And I know you can play these late-game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
He's changing the play. Sets his feet, it's Chambliss. Rolling to the right, trying to make something happen. Sails one into the middle. Oh, did he toast the coverage? Got it deep downfield. Brought down at the 10-yard line, and a nifty pickup after the grab on that one. So after the huge chunk play, they've got it first and goal from the 10. Fresh set of downs going up top. Takes the easy throw in the flat. Touchdown, Rebels! And the pummeling has started.
And this QB's starting to do some work, man. The big explosive play in the passing game. You get inside the 10, you're thinking run. Everybody thinking run. You back it up with another pass, another great throw, and quickly this offense gets right to the end zone.
And they tacked on the extra point. He'll bring it out. It's Harris. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Tigers sending out their offense ready to get this drive started. It looks as if this game is going to be one to just drag to the recycle bin, but the idea now is to finish strong and just take whatever happens in the rankings next week.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Off-play action. Going for it all. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
And this is always the time in the game where coaches are absolutely watching. Like, which one of my guys mail it in and quit? And if you're the quarterback, man, you've been sacked a few times, you've turned the football over, like, continue to play, find some ways to maybe get a few first downs and make something positive happen.
Looking downfield, it's Levin. Here comes the heat. They got him. Great pressure by this defense.
And this defense has done such a great job. Another sack on the day. They forced an interception. They've been flying all over the field playing great defense.
LSU will bring the punt team on the field. 3 and out. They got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. He was able to get that ball up to the 48-yard line before he stopped on the return. Here comes the Ole Miss offense onto the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing.
And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44.
There we go, defense. That's the play you needed to have. All night long, you've been giving up big ones to this offense. That's why you're in the position you're in right now, down by multiple possessions. But finally, they come away with their first sack.
And the Rebels now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Back to pass on second down. Look out! Caught. Breaks into the open. Past the 30. And this defense is a half a beat behind. They just can't quite keep up. They've got it down to the 21. That big play flipped the field. Now they go to work from just outside the red zone. From the gun, it's Lacey. Gain of about 4 sets up a 2nd and 6.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike. The officials stop the clock for the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is that much closer to victory. The Rebels trying to get a touchdown on 1st and goal. Going to audible here. Let's see what they do. They'll dial up the run on 1st and goal. And they're going to score again, yet another touchdown as they just add to their total.
Points, points, and more points. This offense has had their way. They just keep their foot on the gas, keep putting up points, keep putting up touchdowns. And you know what? This is one of those stats days. You look back and you're like, that guy had 12 touchdowns on the year. Well, 4 or 5 of them might have been in this game.
On to attempt the try. And the extra point is true, and the score is 35-3. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And he found his way to the end zone from the 7 to cap it. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Back to pass, it's Levin. Buying time to his right. He wants a big play here late. And that'll be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter on 1st down, but 2nd down's coming up.
Well, talking to the coaching staff coming into tonight, they thought they had to have success throwing the football if they were going to win this game. And one of the biggest reasons why I'd say they're losing right now is because this guy still hasn't thrown a touchdown pass. The defense has been ready for the deep shots. They're ready yet again here late in the game. Nice.
And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
And that play is a microcosm of what this game has been. They have not been able to protect their quarterback all game long, early or late, up front. Moving forward, this offense has got to do a better job, or else they're going to be in a lot of trouble. You cannot give up as many sacks as they have in this game and expect to win.
They'll move the chains after he gets it to the 43-yard line. And the best thing about this, the offense can't worry about the scoreboard. Just keep trying to make plays like that, Jesse.
I know a lot of people in the stadium probably feel like this game is over. Maybe it's been over for a while, Reese, but don't tell that to this quarterback and his teammates. They're still out there scrapping and clawing.
And these are these moments as a defense, like, you're just trying to get out of the game. We're rotating, we're subbing, like, we've stopped them all game long. Like, they can run the football right here. The biggest thing is the clock ticking, us getting out of here with the dub, and really, everybody staying healthy.
Rush right in his face. He's sacked. This defense all over him. Trying to get everybody set with the clock still running. On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
Well, at this point, you're still trying to throw stuff up against the blackboard and see if it sticks. You're down by a lot of points, so why not try it, right? And give the offense credit. You know, you're not just going to run the football. You're not just going to take a knee and go into the locker room with your tail between your legs. I like the fighting spirit, just not enough of that today.
Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Quarterback signaling to his guys. To the air, it's Chambliss. Great job to separate the ball from the receiver there.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but like, let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get a stop? Can we get them off the field? I know lots went wrong, but like, let's live in this moment and try to be great right here.
And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys in a coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Right side, it's Lacey. Still running at the 40. Smacks him with the stiff arm. And a potentially touchdown-saving tackle made there after the long completion.
Yeah, and I like this offense keeping the foot on the gas. You got to lead by a couple scores, but keep the foot on the accelerator. Nice job. Another big play down the field for this offense.
The Rebels getting set on 1st and 10. Sells the run, wants to pass. Oh, pressure's coming. The pass is incomplete, and the clock will stop with 5 seconds left.
And how about this offense? They're not worried about the clock. They're not worried about the score. They're not worried about early and down. Still trying to execute their offense. Still trying to make big plays. And they've had a great day so far.
Keeps it moving. It's Lacey. There he goes. Big pickup before he goes out of bounds, but there is a flag. We'll have to see if it stands. So that penalty is going to cost them the first down as they back up, and now it's 2nd down. Ole Miss gets the daily double. They win the Magnolia Bowl and beat LSU. And as always, they take victory in the tailgate. That's going to do it for us as the season marches on. For David Pollack, Jesse Palmer, and Holly Rowe, I'm Reese Davis. This has been a presentation of EA Sports College Football. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Houston, Texas. Today at NRG Stadium, as we're going to find out who will go home as champions of the Kinder's Texas Bowl. Another opportunity to put on the headgear and finish this season on a winning note comes in the Texas Bowl. It's the USC Trojans and the Clemson Tigers. Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with you. Holly Rowe will be keeping an eye on things on the sideline. Kickoff team on the field ready to start this postseason classic. Fielded in the end zone. It's Barber. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Follows his blocks. It's Jordan. Knocked down, could not turn the corner, and already this offense behind the chains.
And, man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground? That is a baller.
Throws to the wideout. And wings it incomplete.
Sometimes it takes quarterbacks a few plays to really get into the rhythm of the game and not force things. I think the quarterback that time was really trying to force the ball to his wide receiver, but against man coverage, there were other guys on that play that were open that could have had a chance. So this quarterback just needs to settle down a little bit. He won't be throwing as many incompletions if he just lets the coverage tell him where to go with the ball.
Another incompletion on third down.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win first and second down. You set up third and longs like that. You can show your exotic looks. You can get the pass rush going. Everybody in the back end expecting throw. And that's how you force incompletions and force fourth downs.
And there he goes. Just plowing ahead. What a return there. Found a little running room and put his team in great position. This offense has it with really good field position. Run in the red zone, it's Davidson. They pull him down at the 17 after a pickup of 3. Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Give to the running. It's a fumble. And the defense jumps on it and they get that turnover.
As a defender, you dream about those big hits. You work hard on it in practice, closing space, getting close, and just sticking that guy and causing the fumble.
Here comes the Trojan offense ready to go on the attack. On the option. Keeps it, looking for room. Hit and dropped in the backfield. He'll lose 4.
Not the start the offense wanted to have. They had to punt the first time out. And here on the opening play of their second drive, they're going backwards. If they're going to run the football, these big guys up front, they've got to do a better job.
To throw, it's Mayava. Looking down the middle. Picked off. What a play to set him up. Not the biggest return, but he sets him up inside the red zone at the 19.
I tell you what, it puts you in a tough position when you're backed up inside your own 20 trying to come out. But when you're a defense and you can force a turnover and you already set your offense up in scoring position, they are going to be extremely happy, and that offensive coordinator is going to look extremely smart.
Takes the handoff. It's Haynes. Oh, he's got some space. They get him corralled, but he carries it all the way down to the 7-yard line. Let's see what Clemson comes up with on first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer.
And I'm good with it. I like what the offense is doing. Be physical. I don't need to get pass happy down here on first and goal. Nice job believing in my running game, and maybe I stick to it for another play or two.
Quarterback changing the play. The running back has it. And he's in. Touchdown, Tigers. Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they finish it off with the score from the 4. On the return, it's Barber. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Here comes the USC offense to get this drive underway. Snagged in the middle. It's Bowman. He'll get it out to the 25, not bothered at all being backed up, and they've got a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Tells the play fake, wants to throw on first down. Can hold on in the face of the contact.
And I think on that last play, that's an example of the quarterback trying to predetermine who he wants to throw to, and instead of letting the defense dictate who gets the ball. Man coverage, that guy was not open that time out on the perimeter of the field. Still, he gave him a chance, but that
makes a grab and run the run. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker.
And frankly, if that's a completion, it's not going to make the end-of-season highlight reel. But in this game, it could lead to a highlight reel type play. The offensive coordinator may be setting something big up for later in the game.
It'll be 3rd and short from their own 33. Powers inside. That just never had a chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on 3rd down. And the Trojans will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Trying to get started. He gets a block. Man, oh man, did that coverage team have its hands full. Well, not full because they didn't get a hand on him for quite a while. Great return there. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Drops back on first down. Just barely got rid of it.
This is going to be a key that we look at this entire game. How can this defense find ways to affect this quarterback and get pressure on him? Because they felt coming into the game, if they could do that, they could affect him and influence this passing game.
Long way to go on 2nd down. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. Hits the hole. It's Haynes. Got the first down. He's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and they are threatening. This Tiger running game starting to show some juice, sort of a C.J. Spiller type of feel.
Yeah, and it doesn't always hit you early. It doesn't always hit you on the first possession, but I do think they've done a good job over the years, Clemson, with sticking with the run game, creating that balance, trying to get those first downs, and trying to create some tempo against your defense.
He is wrestled down at the 17-yard line. They've got a first down in the red zone. They might have the defense's head spinning a little bit now. Hit him with a big run. Now they hit him with a big pass.
Man, it's so hard to defend both. You know that. Which coverage do I want to put? Do I want to put more people in the box to stop the run? When you've got this kind of balance on offense, the defense can't be right.
From the red zone, he's going to throw it. Rush is on. And they got it.
And that is a huge play for the defense. Offense has it in your red zone. You're trying to knock them out of field goal range. The only way you do that is by creating negative plays, and they get the sack.
The Tigers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. 2nd down, gonna throw it. Lets it fly deep downfield. And it's incomplete after taking a shot on 2nd down. They're staring at 3rd.
Well, even though that pass was incomplete, I wouldn't be shocked if this defense in the second half decides to play some deeper coverages. This offense has already shown they're willing to be aggressive, and they've got a lot of speed. Moving forward, this defense cannot afford to give up big plays in the passing game.
Making the adjustment on the play. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. 3rd and long. He'll need to loosen up that arm. Trying to make magic with his feet. And they can't make the connection on 3rd down, but hold everything. There is a flag. Let's see what that's about. He just lost track of where he was on the field. Entire body past the line of scrimmage. Illegal forward pass, and they will back him up. And they'll send out the field goal unit. He'll need to strike this one cleanly from 48 yards out. Knocked it right through, showing that big range from 48 yards out.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but, man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
Coming out with it, it's Barber. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. Back to throw, it's Mayava. Now moving to his right, looking for anyone that's open. And that one falls incomplete. They tried to go over the top on 1st down. 2nd down coming up.
Well, I love the effort by the quarterback here. He extends the play. Nothing open right away. There's a little bit of pressure. He gets to the outside, tries to take a shot down the field, just not on the same page with his intended target.
He's not afraid to go deep. And it's incomplete, going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a 3rd down. And now let's see if the offense can bail itself out after the 2nd down misfire. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Oh, man, another incompletion. That's 3 in a row.
Every defense in the country talks about getting offenses in predictable 3rd and long situations where I can bring on more speeds.
Guys, look at this. They're going to gamble and go for it here on 4th and long. Snapped it, and he has to have it. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick. Clemson will come to the line with a 1st and goal. Making the adjustment. Sells the run, looking to pass. Still looking to his right. They stop him short as he was trying to scramble and find his way to the goal line.
You love that decision if you're the head coach. You're trying to throw it in the end zone. Nothing's there. Good job by the quarterback, tucking it and running and just getting what he can get.
I'm trying to power it in. And they get to him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 2.
Now listen, the defense won that play. As an offense here, the key, David, you can't go back-to-back negative plays. You got to be smart with the football here. Looks like you're going to have to throw it. You just can't force it. You got to make sure you're playing with that clock in your head. You can't take a sack.
And I think this is a situation where I spread you out. I get more speed on the field. I make the defense declare. I see what they're in, but I'm definitely throwing the football.
4th and goal from the 4, and look at this. The offense still on the field. They'll go for it. They get the completion, but it won't be nearly enough as the defense is there to stop him short. We've come to the end of the quarter, and Clemson has the lead. They wanted to strike first and strike hard, and they've been able to do that here in the 1st quarter as we take a look at the stats. So after the break, they'll go back to work. Selling the run, but he wants to throw it. Unloads to the wideout. And he throws another interception, his 3rd of the night. Touchdown, Clemson. The defense putting points on the board.
And nice vision by the linebacker, understanding and diagnosing pass right away. Getting his eyes on the quarterback, breaking on the football, making the huge interception, and then taking it back to the high school days, man. In his glory days at the running back spot, running all the way to the house and scoring the touchdown.
He'll bring it out. It's Barber. Tackled at the 24 and almost breaks even with the yardage he would have gotten with a touchback. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. Running inside, it's Jordan. Moves up to the 34-yard line, give him a 10-yard pickup. For all of the star quality that USC has been built on, good offensive line, strong running game has always been a hallmark.
No doubt about it. I think they're built on, the passing game and explosive playmakers out wide, but they've always had that balance at USC. You got to have a little bit of the boring to go with the glitz and the glamour.
Dropping back, it's Mayava. Fires to the wideout. That's caught. It's Barber. Makes the stop at the 49, but not before he gets in plus territory, gets 15 and a first down.
Well, this team found themselves in a hole really quickly. Good things need to start happening.
And it's his 4th interception of the night. Nice pickup on the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business. Snaps it, they'll throw to start the drive. Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49.
Man, that's exactly what this defense needs. They found themselves now in a hole. They're trailing. Got to get pressure on this QB. Can't give him time to get comfortable. They get to him, get the big sack. Maybe this gets them back in the football game.
Turns it upfield. At the 35, he's open. He'll be forced out of bounds. Big pickup on the play, and they'll mark him down at the 28.
And when you run these drag routes, it's super important that your quarterback can really use his eyes. Don't lock in where everybody's going to start looking at you and seeing what's coming. Does a good job, drops back, sees it, and the most important part, puts the ball out in front so he can catch it, get upfield, and make some extra yards after the catch. First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another first down, gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy
snags it, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Clemson. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And he tacks on the extra point. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish it by firing one in from the 13 for the score. From deep, it's Barber. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. Back to throw, it's Mayava. Out wide left, it's Bowman. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down.
You never want to say it's over early. I mean, we're here early in the game, but considering what the scoreboard is saying, they absolutely had to have that play for them to stay in this football game. And sometimes it just takes one great throw and one great catch to wake you up. They need to score a touchdown on this drive. They need to score another touchdown on their next drive, but maybe that's the play that turns things around for them.
Not in lockstep there with the receiver.
I mean, this game has to feel like a living nightmare for this quarterback. We're still in the first half, and this guy, with all the interceptions he's thrown, with all the inaccurate balls, nothing is going right. They have no semblance of a passing game because they simply cannot establish a rhythm under center.
They're all over him. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on third down.
And man, oh man, I just don't understand what we're trying to do offensively.
Like, wait just a second. They're leaving the offense on the field. They're going to go for it in this situation. Needs it here on fourth down. And they gambled in their own end, and now they give up really good field position.
Well, I knew the coach was confident in his offense. I did not know he was that confident this early in the game. 4th and long. I thought he'd just punt that one away and let his defense take the field. Interesting.
Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. On the run, it's Haynes. Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20.
And I like the thought process on offense here early in this game. They're giving their bell cow the ball early and often. There are a lot of coaches that outthink themselves, and they think, you know, we're going to throw the ball to set up the run instead because everybody on defense knows our guy is the focal point. But this offense is just keeping it simple. Let's just give our best player the football early in this game, and let's just get him into a rhythm.
Man, a lot of times offenses, they feel really good when it's second and short after a good run on first down. You'll see them be aggressive. They choose to run the football, defense ready, now setting up a third and short situation. Are they going to run it 3 times in a row? The defense probably going to be ready for that.
He's lucky that was a linebacker, not great hands. It's incomplete.
Third and short in college football today, you see so much more pass than you used to. The offense stays aggressive, and I think they stay aggressive because they know they're in field goal range. They got that 3 in their back pocket.
And that is no good. And this will stay a 3-score game at 24.
And sometimes I just feel like fourth down, man, just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss-make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
Drops back. It's Smayava. Under pressure. Nearly another interception. It'll be second down.
Man, he almost throws another one. And I tell you what, it's just been one of those days. Sometimes it's not your day, and just turning the ball over like they're a nonprofit, man, just giving it away. This offense has been reckless. It's been careless. They've got to do a better job of being smart with the football.
Second down, gonna throw it. Throws to the wideout. Out wide right, it's Barber. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. They've been steamrolled so far in this first half, David, but maybe a little positive momentum to take to the locker room.
And I like you got the first down of the drive, so maybe you can build on this now. I would play with some tempo, obviously getting closer to halftime here. Maybe create some momentum, get a score here, and cut into this lead.
Here comes the heat. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
A good job by this defense. Great job in the secondary. Eyes on the quarterback. They took away the first option, made him go to option 2, made him go through his progression, and then they got time to get home and get a hit on the quarterback.
Wants to go up top on second down. Had the pick in his hands and couldn't hang on, and you just won't see that from him very often. It'll be third down. We'll see if the offense can move the chains after that incompletion. They'll move the wide receiver. He wants to throw it again. Looking left. Another incompletion on third down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there, you've got to be able to make that play.
Guys, look at this. I'm surprised they're going to gamble and go for it here on fourth down. Snapped on fourth down. And that makes 5 interceptions in this one. The nightmare is alive. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Wants to throw one first. Makes the grab. It's Burrows. 7-yard pickup on that one. Is now 2nd and 3. Clemson jumps to the line. Second down to the air. Unloads to the wideout. Right side, it's Wesco. They get him stopped, but the big gain has them on the doorstep. Let's mark it at the 13. And the Tigers peeled off a huge chunk of yardage through the air and now back to the line. They'll run it. It's Haynes. They'll wrestle him down at the 4-yard line after that run.
And the quarterback knew that that counter run play was going to be successful. He did a nice job counting the box before the snap. He knew he had good numbers. He knew he had good angles and blocking. So that is a green-lit play from the get-go. Hand it off, go make yards.
And they've got him down after the short completion, but they inch closer and closer to pay dirt.
How about this offense? They're rolling. They got a couple first downs together. Defense. Next, what's your response? What do you got? You got to make some adjustments here.
This offense is about to face the one thing that can stop it. Timing. And he surges across the line. Touchdown, Tigers! PAT unit on the field. And the extra point just tacks a little bit more onto this huge lead. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And finished the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2.
Wow. 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 My mic been muted this whole time, bro. This whole fucking time.